The History of Money by Colin Meredith. So, I'm going to start off my speech with a question. How much is the world, or by how much are we in debt collectively as a planet? About $233 trillion. You're probably wondering, how do we get there? How do we start from the beginning of Stone Age humanity all the way to now with $233 billion in debt, world trade transporting billions of dollars every day through the U.S. stock market, roughly about 144 billion. Well, we're going to start off with trade, move to economics, currency, and then I'll finish off my speech with a conclusion. First is trade. Now, where and how did trade develop? Trade began pretty much roughly everywhere. If you point to anywhere in the world, you'll see an example of trade, from the Norsemen of northern Europe to the Aztecs and ancient Maya. This includes land, obsidian, anything of value that didn't exist in one part that needed to go to another was traded at some point. Now, I'm going to use the example of the early Mesopotamian and Iranian highlands, which is discussed incredibly well in the scholarly article by Thomas Beale. Now, the Iranian highlands were rich in materials: iron, copper, zinc, everything that a farming community needed, such as Mesopotamia. The only problem is it's far away, and Mesopotamia had none of this. So the end result was to transfer all that material from the low densely populated deserts of Iran all the way to the fertile, rich valleys of Mesopotamia, which, if you remember your 6th grade social studies class like I do, is the cradle of civilization. Now, moving on to economies. Now, how do economies develop? Economies typically develop as pretty much any other kind of hierarchy do. They do it out of necessity. One of the best examples is during an interview with Perry Silva, an economics professor here at KSU. He discussed how the British Empire in this case, developed one of the most robust economies around the world. With earlier examples being the Roman Empire. Again, the prominent examples being the Roman Empire, Brazil, India as well with the spice trade, and weirdly enough, Genghis Khan with the Silk Road, which while this Mongolian is typically regarded as relatively barbaric, actually had one of the biggest economies as well as the most advanced messaging system in the world. Currency. Currency is kind of one of the weirder concepts. How do you start deciding what has value when something is just paper? Even gold is relatively useless back in ancient times. So why did we decide that it has currency, and what kind of abstract thought goes into that? Well, it kind of goes through a system to begin with. First is barter and trade. I give you goat, you give me pie. Then we have primitive money. This is kind of like gold coins, copper coins, zinc coins, like we see in early Turkey and then 300 BC. Then we start moving into less primitive money, more like today's IOUs and paper bills. And this transition is not always perfect. Once we get to the final only use of modern money, for example, you can look at the use of American cigarettes in modern-day prisons, or in East Germany during the Soviet Union's occupation, along with the other allies, where the Soviets basically bankrupt the entire nation by totally devaluing the marks, which is the standard currency of the German Republic at the time. Now, examples again: early cigarettes. 4 minutes. I'm going to start off my conclusion then really quickly. So, we've gone over trade, economies, and how they developed, some prominent examples of economies throughout history. We've also gone into examples of how currency has changed over time, from early Turkey and all the way to East Germany today. That'll conclude my speech. Thank you very much.